What's happened? All right.
Oh shoot, fellas, I didn't even see you guys there. The game requires you to take a picture of, you know what, a sexy picture. Hey, it's an achievement. It's an achievement. Don't try to judge me. You're supposed to take a picture of her, or at least a woman. I think it was. There's no way to explain this. So Dead Island 2 is coming out in a couple of days, and that's what prompted me to make this video right here. I mean, I did play the first Dead Island, I did, but I never finished it. But I do remember I had some fun times, and then I had some boring times. So to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the first Dead Island, but I will say one zombie game I remember enjoying for some reason. I don't know if anybody remember it, and it's that Walking Dead Survival Instinct game. You remember that one? I think it came around 2013 on the 360. I don't know, something about it was just interesting. I remember it was the time where the show was taken off, and it was like a prequel to Daryl's story. I mean, it was kind of cool. I don't know, I remember it being janky and weird, but I don't know, something about it was just weirdly interesting, right? So I'm hoping that's the same thing with this game coming out now, Dead Island 2. But I will say, fellas, after watching gameplay though, this question came up in my mind. Should the zombie genre be, given a rest? I think around Dying Light 1, zombies have been going lower. I don't think there's been any innovation. I think Dying Light 1, the only innovation I remember it bringing was just the parkour and the fast-paced play. But after that, I don't remember any other zombies game that came out that innovated or did anything better, than the older zombie games that came out, like Dead Rising or even the first Dead Island, right? And that's what I noticed about this game here. One thing I did notice from the gameplay I watched is that the combat is pretty slow. And what I mean by slow, I know the first Dead Island, I know before everybody bring up their argument, the first Dead Island was pretty slow, like in gameplay wise with zombies. But I will say it was a lot faster than this game here. The thing about this game is the character run pretty slow and swings pretty slow. I mean, for all the weapons that and all the gore that the developers seem to be going hyping up about, they should make the game a lot more faster. I've seen some zombies run here and there. I haven't seen any bosses from the gameplay I've seen, but I did see some fast zombies. I heard they're gonna be screeching zombies. This is what I mean about no innovation. Like, what could they possibly bring that's new to this game that wasn't in a previous zombies game? And the thing is, I did notice all of the gunplay in this game also. I will say it looks better than the first Dead Island. Now I say this because I remember everybody hated the gunplay in the first Dead Island. And I will say this one looks it looks better, I will say. And I did see all the attachments. It kind of reminded me of Far Cry 6 weirdly, but I did see all the attachments you can put on the weapons. Now that's not anything new, if I'm being honest. That's what the developers were hyping up, but it's not anything new or anything to write home about. It's not anything I want to, hey, take my $70, So that's one thing I did notice. Another thing I noticed is that when you're fighting the zombies, seem like there's a lot of, cinematic things that's happening, like a lot of animations that you can prompt, which I didn't remember seeing in the first Dead Island. I do remember you could chop zombies' head off, you can chop their legs off. That's still a thing here. I know the developers hyped up the gore for this one, but with the flesh burning and bones and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's gonna again be a thing that's $70 worthy or something to write home about. It's not anything praiseworthy, is it? Because Dying Light did pretty good on the gore too, I will say. So That's why I'm comparing it to the other zombies game. It has to do something different for it to be, considered new and special, right? You let me know what you think about that. But another thing I did notice from the gameplay also is that it is not an open world. Good job there. As you know, I'm getting tired of open worlds, at least uninterested. The modern games cannot make open worlds as it is, so it's best that they stay linear, and they did do it here, and that's something I will give credit. I'll say, I guess that's pretty good, right? I would be, I'm happy about. Now, another thing I did notice throughout the gameplay is that you cannot drive. I remember in the old Dead Island, you could drive throughout the island, right? But in this one, I did not see that you could drive, and I don't know if that's a good thing, because it's a step backwards with how slow the characters are. Like I said, I hope the certain areas that they make is not too big where it's just dreadful to even explore. Or they speed up the characters a little bit and give them like more for you to go on a rampage. I feel like you can't go on a rampage of killing zombies. It just seems way too slow. I hope there's like a weapon or something that allow you to decimate zombies like pretty fast, right? So those are the things I noticed, fellas, and I will say I don't know. You guys let me know how y'all feel about the gameplay y'all seen, or you guys, hype about this, because again, it doesn't seem like anything to write home about. Now, everything I said beforehand was all thought and all opinion, right? That was all opinion and thought. Now, everybody can have their own opinion. Nobody's crying, but right, we can all have our own opinion. Maybe you think Dead Island is going to be the best game of the year, blah, 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 right? Okay. Now, what I'm about to show you next is very weird. I don't know. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. But there was this article, because I was watching a video and I seen somebody talk about it. And I went and looked up the article, right? And I found it. And I kind of wanted to expose it to you guys and let you guys see it, because it's just weird. But this is about Dead Island 2, and this remind me of the Saints Row reboot. I heard something like this before the Saints Row reboot was even coming out, right? I heard the same thing I'm about to read to you, and keep in mind Saints Row was a bomb, but whatever, right? So let's go ahead and read together. It was a really interesting exercise trying to break down what makes something LA and what stands out as a truly unique LA experience. We were very cautious to take anything that would feel like a hurtful stereotype, and that's why in the studio we have a diverse council that helps us understand whether we've pushed something too far. Olsen revealed. Right now, let me go ahead. If you didn't hear that correctly, let me go ahead and spew that back at you again. We were very cautious to take anything that would feel like a hurtful stereotype. That's one. So, what could possibly be offensive in a zombies game? Now, I'm itching my head because I do not understand what are they even talking about. This is a zombies game, fellas. This is nothing. This is a zombies game, and they are talking about hurtful stereotype. Are you talking about the characters? Hurtful stereotype. Now that's one. Now the next thing they said was, we have a diversity council. Once you hear that, it might just be GG. It might be the time to just hang the white flag. I do not understand the reasoning for this part right here. Now again, I'll go ahead and put the article down below. This is what I read here, and this sounds exactly like Saints Row reboot. I heard something similar to this before Saints Row came out, and that's when I knew all all hope is lost. Now I know, like I said before, all the things I said, zombies might be stale, there might be nothing to bring new, right? But this right here is a game changer. hurtful stereotype, fellas. I don't know, man. How do you guys feel about this right here? It's a zombies game. I don't know. I don't see the problem with any, thing that's stereotyped. It's LA after all. Go crazy. Do whatever you want. It's LA, right? I mean, I better, at least in the game, I better see the Hollywood sign somewhere. I don't know, in the background. I don't know, or we should be able to go there somehow. I don't know. We need to see something, right? I don't know, but I don't know where I'm going with that. But you let me know what you think about this right here. Are you hyped for Dead Island 2? I don't know if I'm even going to review it, to be honest. I don't even know if I'm going to get this game. I don't see the reasoning. I feel like everybody's going to trash it anyways, so I don't see the reasoning for me to get it. Maybe if it's funny wise, like if we find something, some crazy stereotype thing that they probably taken out, or some weird dialogue, maybe fine, I'll make a video about it. But this game doesn't even seem like it's worth the time. You let me know though. What do you guys think? Would you like that to be a video I make? But whatever, So you let me know what you think about this right here. I'm just gonna let you go.